Well, I'm excited to be with you guys today. So, I'm Luz Ballesteros. I'm with the National Center for Appropriate Technology, NCAT, and then I will let them introduce themselves. So, if you guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about you, like what school do you attend?
Um, my name is Denise. I'm 16. I'm a junior at Los Fresnos High School. And what?
I am Carla Serrata. I am a senior in Los Fresnos High School as well.
I'm Sofia Mejia. I'm a sophomore at UTHV. I'm here with the agroecology program.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. So I know on the prior panel we talked a little bit about like the future, and I think it's very fitting because the theme for this conference, if you guys haven't already seen in your programs, is the future is growing here. And you guys, we are all the future of the food system in the region. So my first question for you guys is, what first sparked your interest in the food system or made you realize it matters to you? So what kind of you like about food and being here?
For me, it was the way that for many people that who don't like vegetables is probably because when they get them from a market, they don't have that taste of being fresh, and it gives them a different taste or texture that they don't like it. But when they're like freshly picked, especially for kids, it's like who have gone in and like picked things on their own and actually tried it, it's completely different for them.
Yeah, thanks.
Personally, I don't really know much about the food system, but it is really interesting to me how kids, like she said, don't really like vegetables because they taste different, and it kind of varies a lot as well.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, and I know before we go to you, Sophia, I know you guys are in the culinary program.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are part of the food system and you kind of make this veggies taste pretty good. Yeah. And so, Sophia, I'll pass it on to you. So, what sparked your interest in the food system?
Definitely, I would say my family, because my family has a history of diabetes. So the kind of foods that we eat are, very important to kind of like watch. A lot of us, we like to eat sweets. We like to eat all kinds of like delicious, but maybe not the best, nutritional food. So I think that's part of why it's so important to me that I know how my food is being made, what goes into it, and where it's coming from.
Yeah. Okay, so in that thought process of like where food is coming from, I know sometimes it's kind of like hard to see like where your food is coming from or like get to meet farmers. And I mean, we have farmers here across the room. So what other challenges have you guys experienced engaging with like food and how it's grown and how it's processed and like being part of like what you guys mentioned, like getting kids like to eat like vegetables and like getting your families to maybe eat healthier?
Oh, do you want me to go? Well, I think definitely in my personal experience, since working with the agroecology program, and a lot of the times I'll bring home some fresh food from the farm. And at first, when I first started doing that, my mom was like a little bit skeptical of it, just because I started washing it and she saw like the little aphids coming out and she was like, well, like that looks crazy, get that out of my kitchen. But I'm like, no, like it's healthy for you, like it's a lot better than like the stuff that comes from the stores and has like a lot of chemicals in it. And I like helped grow this at the farm. Like I promise you, it's fine. It's like I said, just knowing like where that comes from, to me makes me feel better about eating it, and it's cool to see like, oh, like I helped grow this, and now it's on my plate in my kitchen, on my dinner plate. I'm eating it with my family. I'm making meals out of it.
Yeah. Do you guys want to say something about it? I mean, I think, Sophia, you kind of have experience like growing the food, and then you guys now that are like into the culinary program, right? Like you are the ones like cooking the food. And so for you, how, like, what challenges have you come across in your programs, accessing like that local food or like seeing how that food grows? And do they include that for you?
Well, our school really has a good farming program as well. And being part of the culinary program, it is really nice. But we don't really see like where the food is coming from. But at some point, it's like, it's like different. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, yeah, you're making sense. Would you like to add anything? No? Yeah, I mean, right. And it's kind of like hard to breach that gap, which is kind of why we have conference like this. But this is kind of like my favorite question, because we get to create the future that we kind of want to see. So if you guys could design like your own, like your ideal like food system that serves like your community here, what would that look like? What would you ideally like do, and how would your like family and friends like interact in it?
In school, we have very different like foods and stuff. Like my ideal would be like much more healthier things, because sometimes they do give us that, but as well it like varies, and it can be sometimes really bad. So I would just like something more healthier in schools, and basically.
Yeah. What's your favorite vegetable to cook with, or like your favorite dish to make?
Cauliflower. I like cauliflower with like butter and garlic.
I also really like cauliflower.
It's
like
really
it's
good.
really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Sophia, what's your ideal food system?
Well, I'd also agree. Having nutritional and healthy food is important, and I think it's also important to think of like the practices that go into making that food. So like at the garden, they practice organic practices. The agroecology garden is certified organic. The farm isn't, however, we do still practice organic and sustainable practices. So I think that is really an important part of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Don't worry.
I guess for like us, since what we like in the culinary, I forgot what it is. I forgot what to say. Sorry.
No worries. So people leading the culinary program,
I forgot.
maybe engaging a little bit more with like farmers. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, so what is your favorite vegetable to cook?
Probably cactus.
Yeah. Okay, I love nopales. Yes,
Yeah.
they are pretty good. Do you guys like nopales?
The what?
Cactus, like nopales?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. No. Sophia, do you like to cook?
Kind of. I wouldn't say like I'm the best cook, but since I've been working with the agroecology program, I've definitely started like cooking more with like fresher, healthier foods. So I've been trying to try a lot of different recipes.
What's your favorite vegetable to grow?
Well, right now we're growing lots of tomatoes, so definitely that so far has been the funnest experience, because we set up like the trellis and make sure the tomatoes aren't falling over, and we're going to be getting some tomatoes coming in soon, so
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Are you guys, wait, I'm like tangenting this, but are you guys having a tomato fest at the
Yes,
farm?
we are. We
Okay.
absolutely are.
Nice.
Yes.
You guys should go. Have you guys been to the tomato fest? No. Sophia, do you want to fill them in about like what the dynamic is there?
So basically, Tomato Fest is this event we are gonna have coming up later in May, where we invite community members out to try all the different varieties of tomatoes that we've grown. And they do a survey, and it's kind of just to help us see like what kind of tomatoes the community likes, what's good, what should we try again, what do we kind of need to improve on, and you know that really helps us.
Yeah, it's like a really good event. Like you guys should go. I mean, now I'm curious. I'm gonna ask the audience. Raise your hand if you've been to the Tomato Fest at the Hub of Prosperity. Okay. Well, I don't see a lot of hands, but it does happen in May, so stay tuned, because it is really good. And then, Mario, raise your hand. If you have questions, ask Mario. But, okay, so going back to this, right? So maybe like events that connect like students like you in the culinary program, and growers, producers like Sophia, who are like trialing like different varieties, like I think that would be like great, and it's always like so fun. So with that being said, what is one thing that gives you hope when you think about the future of like food in the RGB?
Looking into our culinary program and just like looking around and seeing all these kids happy to do it and happy to be working with one another and cooking, it brings me like some sort of like peace, knowing that there are kids who want to do this and who want to help the environment by just simply cooking something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, being in the culinary program, like you get to see like so many like teenagers going in actually wanting to like do something with this, trying to see what like they can make with, and like try and help people like be healthy, eat more of this. It feels really nice.
Definitely, I'd say something that gives me hope is there's a big rise in interest in, growing, learning how to grow yourself, and just in general, like eating fresher, healthier foods, and supporting like local farms and businesses that sell those healthy produce.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, seeing you guys here brings me hope. And then seeing everybody attending. And so, I mean, we talked about like kind of like the ideal vision of like a food system and like things that bring you hope. And I think a question that sometimes I have is like, well, how do we make it happen, right? And who is going to like step up and like help out to make these things happen? So my question for you around that is, what support or resources would help you and like your friends, your peers, kind of like be more, like participate more on like local food and like growing food and cooking local food and like feeding people local food? Like what do you guys think about that, like those support and resources?
I would say, like, as far as I get it, I would say like my teachers and my mentors, and it's always nice to have a support system to help you, like, have more knowledge in all of, like the stuff that we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
It's more just like the help that you get that would help, you know?
Yeah. So like, yeah, teachers are great. Like they're great mentors. Like, it's like if you could like just like have like a little fairy godmother and be like, I want this to make this happen. What would that be for you? Like to achieve like, I don't know, like your vision of like the local food or like healthy food? Like if you could get anything.
No idea.
Probably trying to like show kids how like the way that things are made, so they get to get the vision of how you can make something with those, like with vegetables that are growing, and like the things that you're eating, the way that they're made. I guess that could really help like a lot for like a lot of people, especially like in culinary. Like if you teach them how things are made, like instead of just telling them, if you show them, or you show, like you let them see or do it themselves, of learning, it could really help them a lot, or help others learn more about it.
Yeah, so like maybe more events around like showcasing food, like showcasing like maybe especially for kids, like how food is grown, but also like how food can become like really like yummy dishes. Yeah. Sophia, what do you think?
I think when it comes to resource, having access to things like land, equipment, and just learning how to do it in the first place is very important. The hub does workshops every month on different topics related to agriculture, whether it's food safety or making compost, things like that. Just inviting people out to that, and not only getting their interest, but actually teaching them something that they can keep with them, and try and replicate again themselves at home is something really important.
Yeah, like having more workshops around like how to grow food, but and definitely like access to like plots. Uh, does does the agroecology farm, the hub, do they still do the community beds?
Yeah, so both the agroecology garden and the farm have community gardens. The one on campus is open to everyone, and it's mostly targeting like the students and staff, and everyone that's over there. And the farm is more tailored to the community, and the people in the neighborhoods around it. Uh, and we always invite people to apply to get a bed, to try growing themselves. And we also have the beginner farmer plots that help people who are interested in starting like farming on a larger scale. And that really helps them because we give them that land, and we give them that equipment, and it's the same thing with the community gardens. And we teach them how to get started, and it really helps keep their interest, and then they continue to learn themselves. And again, that connection of teaching other people, and then like they'll go tell other people like, hey, like maybe you should try this too, have you heard about this place? Apply for a bed, or I'll teach you how to do it in your backyard.
Yeah, so maybe we just need like a whole bunch of like hub of prosperities like everywhere in the valley.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Can we make that happen?
I'm sure we could.
I know. Okay, so my next question is, how can older generations be better like allies and like help you guys like continue like your vision, like help you continue kind of like growing?
It's going back to the thing that I was just speaking about support. The older generation really sometimes looks down on younger kids because they might think that we don't really have the ability to do it, or that we just are lazy, or that we don't care. It's always something in that matter. And I would really like when older people to start believing more that we can do it, and that we can do something more with what we have and what we're doing here,
Yeah. Do you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Maybe with the older generation, it could also be like she said, that they think that we might be lazy, that we might don't have the ability for it. That like if instead of like thinking like that and making us feel like maybe we are like this, maybe it's a reason why a lot of people don't want to do it. And if we have that support that they could like teach us how to do many things, maybe more would sign up and do more, farm more, help out and help, especially with the kids. If they just keep thinking something like, oh, they're just gonna be lazy, that it's just gonna be like, it's just gonna be in our head that we can't do what they're doing. And with them, like if they support us and see like, oh, maybe they can, then that could really help out a lot with a lot of like teenagers too. And like they could they could also like help out more and go into a program and farm more and teach how like healthier options for people, and instead of like being told that they're lazy or they can't do it.
Yes, more support. Do you agree, Sophia?
I do. I think mentorship is so important. And like I said before, having like that access to, land and equipment and especially knowledge, because I guess, it's like, where do you start? What should I do first? You need to know kind of like where to get started, and you need someone to teach you that. And it would definitely be helpful, like having more programs, throughout the valley that, will take younger people and teach them how to do that, how to get started, and how they can start participating in their communities.
Yeah, and kind of like what Carla was saying, like having like the older generation say, hey, maybe you can do it, and maybe also I can do it with you, versus like, oh, maybe this is not something that might be like the best job or like the best future, right? So just like that like level of support, in addition to what you said, like more programs, and so everybody like can interact together. I mean, I guess like now I'm curious, do you guys like grow like herbs or flowers or fruits, like, or veggies at home with your families, or are you guys trying to get them to do it?
Well, at my house specifically, I am still trying to convince my mom to let me grow in her backyard. But my aunt does have a nice little vegetable garden. She has like a few raised beds where she grows stuff. It could be like herbs and some random vegetables, whatever she feels like trying, really. And sometimes I'll help her when I go to stay with her.
Nice. What about you guys?
I was talking about it a while ago that I did have a farm, like a little garden. I don't know how to say it. What was it again? Like vegetables, yeah. But it didn't really work out because there was like an infestation of jackrabbits.
Oh no.
And they were eating everything, so all of my watermelon was all bad and stuff, and we couldn't grow anymore, so we just stopped.
Yeah. Rabbits, like bigger mammals, can also be pests. We often think about just like bugs, but
Yeah.
they're hungry.
No, of course.
For us, for my family, well, we never planned it, but they were there. We have a couple of like orange trees, and we have like cactus growing. So sometimes from there, we get oranges, or we get the cactus, and we let them grow out, and then we pick them again. Just sometimes what it is sometimes we do struggle because either it's too hot and then they dry out, or with birds, the birds will like come eat the little flowers on like the cactuses, or start like eating through the oranges, or that's.
Yeah, but that's so nice. Like you can just like grab some cactus from your backyard, like some oranges. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of jealous now about the oranges. Okay, Let's see. So, I mean, I know we kind of talk about like our hopes, our dreams, our desires for what like the food system and the collaboration with older generations would look like. And so, I guess like my next question is, aside from like older generations, is that collaborating, with like your parents or grandparents or things like that? Um, what would be like meaningful collaboration between like students like you guys and decision makers? So decision makers being like, politicians or people that create like programs, right? Like either for the university or like the high school programs. Like what do you guys like envision the ideal like collaboration to be?
I would want that they listen more to like our ideas or plans that we would want to have, because we sometimes do have a bunch of opinions and they just shut it out because like you said, like we said, that we're young, and they sometimes just look down on us just because of that, our age. So I would really like for them to be open for ideas from younger people and from just high schoolers, because it's still an idea and it is still very important as much as theirs.
Yeah. What do you think, Denise?
I don't know, probably the same thing as her, the way that we just hope that they could like listen more to the ideas that we have, maybe like even show it like, oh, maybe we could do this to other, like help kids learn how it's coming from, but sometimes those kind of ideas, they can shut them out as well, because they think that they might not do that, like do very well, like with students especially. But I feel like if they would listen to us and if we had that, then maybe there would be way more students than they think there would be there to help out, especially if they have like younger ones, like kids or middle schoolers. They could learn where everything comes from. And it'd be better that instead of like just telling us that like, oh, maybe or no, it's better if they actually try to show how other people could be very interested in similar things like farming or like little things like that.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think, Sophia?
Well, when it comes to decision makers, I think having financial support is especially important because, like I said, to be able to fund those programs that teach us and, getting the program started itself is going to cost money, and the equipment's going to cost money. And, the time that the mentors have is valuable as well, so you need to pay them to teach us. So I think funding is very important. So funding the programs and even offering scholarships to young people who are going into these fields in agriculture and environmental science, and putting in the work to study those fields and wanting to go into careers that are gonna improve these systems is important.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that you guys said. Do you guys agree? Yeah. Okay. I think we should engage with the audience a little bit because we have some time. Okay, so raise your hand if you agree that we should listen to young people. Hey! Okay, now raise your hand if you agree we need more funding in programs that like get people connected to their food system. Okay, we all agree. Where are these things? No, I'm kidding. Okay, one more. Do you guys want to ask? I mean, if you're curious to ask anybody? No? Raise your hand if you have eaten oranges grown in the RGB. Okay, yeah, see? I mean, we have all of these things like in our backyard, so I think we can continue collaborating with each other. Okay, so I think we're almost like on time, but what is one thing you guys wish everyone in this room uh, to understand about the future of food in the RGB? Like what you think the future of food in the RGB is? Like, I'll give you an example. So, for example, for me, I think I would like for everyone to take away that in order for us to continue growing change, we have to like really show up for each other, like you said, and like really support each other and be like really intentional in the work that we do. Either if you're like a student, if you're like a community member, or like a decision maker, just like being really intentional about the work that we do. So what do you guys think?
Well, I would like everyone to know that we do care and that we are here for the future, for the future for everybody. Like it is very important knowing where our food is being grown and if it's being processed or not. Because we can't be putting in bad chemicals or anything bad into us, because that's just horrible. So I would just like everybody to know that we do care and that we're every day trying to make a change for it to happen.
Yeah. Sophia, Yuna.
Definitely the best advice I could give to everyone is to not be afraid to try to learn new things and make changes in your community, and don't be afraid to talk about it with other people.
Yeah, don't be afraid to talk about it with other people.
I feel like maybe something that I hope that could happen after this is maybe teaching kids to trying to make them, like not make them, but like try and teach them to want to learn where their food's coming from, especially since they're kids. And if people just like, here, eat this, just like have this, it's not really a good thing, especially if they don't know what they're putting into their body. So I feel like if we teach kids where their food is growing, how it's made, how the process that it goes through when it's like growing, I feel like that could really help out like newer generations that are coming in and to learn like things that maybe that we didn't get to learn because we didn't really have those programs when we were younger, or they never told us about that. So I feel like if after this, I really hope that a program could be made for like, especially for kids or middle schoolers, and help them learn like from that. And like it could be older generations or us, like teenagers, high school students, like helping them learn so they could like see what they're eating, how it's formed, everything that they have. Like just try and teach them like the different ways that the food that they eat is made.
Yeah, so like passing down those resources to the younger generation and like the knowledge, and then opening up those like opportunities. Nice. Yeah, so I think we're wrapping up with this. But before, I kind of want to ask one last question from like our audience and like from you guys. Okay, so raise your hand if you feel like the future of local food is growing here. Do you guys feel like it's growing here? Yay, nice. Alrighty.
I think some people might want to ask some questions.
Okay, yeah, we'll take some questions if we have time. Are you guys okay with questions? Yes?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I think we have a mic over here, so if anybody has a question, I can bring it to you, but I would like to ask the first question to get it rolling. Oh, never mind. Somebody's here.
Hi. Hi. I heard about the trouble with collaboration from us oldies. And as one of the oldies, how can we better approach you guys and facilitate a better understanding of your needs and how we can, lay some roads down for the people following after us?
Well, I just say it's better to listen. Sometimes the older generation just think that their way is the right way and they don't want to listen to us just because we're younger. It is just basically on clear communication with one another, because that's just the base of it all. Communicating is very important, but when an adult is like very closed off, they just don't want to listen, so it's their way or nothing at all. So I would just say listening more and paying more attention to high schoolers or kids or just people in general, because everybody's idea is a very important idea either way, no matter the age and no matter who they are as a person, I would say.
Yeah.
My question is for Carla and Denise. Did you mention, so you're from the culinary club at your school, correct?
Yes.
And you mentioned there's a club of students that does gardening as well at your school? Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Do y'all ever collaborate and maybe take veggies that are grown from the students that garden and use that from in your culinary club?
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know more about that. Thank you.
Of course.
Hello? Hey y'all, my question for the youth is, in addition to the agricultural training, are you all also receiving training in how to leverage funds from different places?
I'm not sure what to say to that one. I guess I'm not sure how to answer that. I'm not too savvy in like finances, so
Yeah. Maybe can you like rephrase the question, like
Sure.
fundraising?
Yeah, sure, like fundraising, raising cash, maybe applying for grants, agricultural grants or public health grants.
I would say so. Yes. I mean, the agroecology program, we have farmers markets every weekend. So I think that would definitely be a part of that. We, have practice selling to community members, and doing things like counting cash and collecting, and yeah.
I'm curious, what about you, Carla? And about fundraising, like we're applying for grants for like programs.
Well, personally, I don't really.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either, but it would be really nice to probably help out for the agricultural or the culinary.
Any other questions? Oh.
Thank you all so much for the work that you do. I think it's extremely important for our youth to take interest, and just putting a face to all of this is already an impact that you guys are making. To go off of the first question, what I like to think the previous generation is, he spoke of what platform? Where do we meet in the middle? Is there a specific space, whether it be virtual or physical? Where does the previous generation meet the new generation to have these conversations?
Online, and definitely, reaching out to schools is important, because I think a lot of people in my generation, the younger generations, we don't know where to go for these kinds of opportunities, and sometimes it's not really advertised very well. So putting it out there on, social media where we're, all of us are on social media, we're always on our phones. So I think that's probably one of the best places to connect with us, is online and, really advertise, if you have programs already like that that can help teach us to advertise it or to reach out to, local schools and be like, hey, like, would any of your students be interested in this? And I'm sure that they would be.
We're online. Like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram. Yeah, more like Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram, definitely. Facebook, so. But definitely, I think Instagram and even like, making videos of your program on like YouTube or TikTok, just showing like what your program does is very important, because then we actually see like, oh, well, maybe that could be me. Maybe I could be doing this. Maybe I might want to like, oh, where is that? Oh, that's in my city. I live right near there. Maybe I can go volunteer. Maybe I can go see if I can apply for a job here.
Good morning to everyone, and my part is just to say and extend big thank you. This event has been a great eye-opener for all of us in this industry and providing this service. I want to thank the speakers. Great job in bringing these topics and being so courageous to open up conversations that for years have been in our interest to expand, extend, understand each other. Communication is a huge door opener to service our children. We're blessed to serve them, and they're the future. So the learning and having these doors open among our areas. Something we have implemented also in our school district. Texas Department of Agriculture has come and provided some funding some years, sometimes in different areas, and gardens has been something we have also used in our community. We have been blessed to procure local from the years, so milk, produce, now beef. Thank you for the student, because we're here to serve you. We're here to understand your needs, your wants, and do everything in our area to learn and be very mindful on following rules. But number one, following your needs. We want to make sure we listen, and thank you for being part of this industry. Culinary and bringing your time and choosing this field is a blessing for all of us. Thank you for TDA, because I know they've been doing a lot of involvement in opening doors, and they have Farm Fresh. That's a campaign they've been promoting year and year and growing year by year, and that's how we have been connecting to a lot of our farmers. And we also had food shows. So thank you, Region 1, because the food shows allows us to bring all of us together. What's being available to procure, and also to hear our students taste test these items so we can make better choices for you. So thank you. It's just a lot of gratitude from our hearts, and we'll continue to learn. My commitment is to listen, to learn, and make connections to all of the industry to better serve our students. Thank you.
Do we have any more audience questions? See. Yes. Oh, and also, I mean, you guys can also ask a question back, Because this is a conversation. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we never do that. So just letting you guys know. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. With the short amount of time left, the question I was wondering, I know you had asked what Carla, Denise, and Sophia had seen just for the future in general of farm life and them growing. Just as a wrapping up question, just what each of them individually saw, what kind of direction they want to head into, and what they see for their own future.
So like basically what we want to do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I am very, very good with kids, and I would like to go to college to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher for elementary and first grade. That's my thing, and I would for sure teach them about like agriculture and that type of stuff, because it's always very present in a kid's education to learn about photosynthesis and like plants and just simple stuff for kids.
Yeah, and the same thing for me. For me, I've always wanted to go into education as well, to be a teacher, maybe the history teacher where I could teach also the same way as she said, maybe also teach them similar things of how it was for farmers back then to now, the difference and similarities from then to now, and like everything that from that, I would also like to teach them that same thing, or even for kids.
I would definitely like to continue learning how to grow food for myself, and also to think more about like the policy side of things, like what kind of policies do we have around food, and what kind of food we're bringing into the community, or selling outside of the community, and where it needs to be improved. I would definitely like to be involved in something having to do with that.
Yay.
Hello. So I just wanted to I wanted to get a clarification on something that you were saying about the older generation. By older generation, like what age group are you guys considering?
All of them.
Everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I think a question for you is like, what do you think the older generation would
Well,
be?
this is you were answering, so I wanted to know like what type of older generation. And I ask this because I know, I mean, I give props to the older generation. They've paved the way for us, for younger ones, right? Because I'm speaking for the younger. And I just wanted to know, in a way, you guys are saying they should help us. Of course, we should help them, because we're going to continue what they're building off, right? And I just wanted to ask, because you were saying about like social media, how they can reach to us, because the communication, totally agree on that, right? We need that communication between them and us. That way we can continue or even involve more, right? I just wanted to ask, like social media, when I think about a farmer, and I'm not saying I'm an expert here, I'm not at all. I'll be totally humble on that. But I'm saying that I don't think they're all like on social media. I don't think they're in Facebook as much. I think, they might be out there in the field working and stuff. And, even myself, getting more involved, I don't even see myself. I'm just super busy. My question basically was, how do you say it? Or it was more an observation, right? Maybe, I also think like maybe the middleman, which is like the 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds, maybe that can also be like, they're the ones that could help us connect there. And yeah, I just had an observation about that. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the question could also be like, if the older generation can meet you guys, right, in places like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or short video form, whatever, how can you guys like meet the older generation? And I mean, maybe this is a question for like the older generation, like in the audience, right? So, where are you guys at? Like, where are you, Servando? Where do you look at Facebook? Oh wait, can someone give him like a Mike. Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that question because it's something I feel we really need to address within our own families and then within our own communities, right? We learn from each other, and I think the biggest obstacle sometimes we face is the younger generation thinks, well, dad doesn't get me or he doesn't understand, and I'm not on social media. My wife is, and that's about as far as I go, right? I rely on her, but I'm doing what I love doing, right? And that's out in the field, that's out in the ranch, and then meeting wonderful people of all ages. We have to break that barrier, that bridge that's between us, because we learn from each other. You guys are going to learn from us older ones, and I also learn from my grandkids and my daughters, right? We have to be open-minded. We have to listen to one another. We have to incorporate our tradition as older generations with some of the new modern technology of today, right? How do we marry those two together to really make something wonderful move forward and move the needle, right? So don't ever be afraid or discouraged to approach somebody older. And I never get discouraged in trying to pick your brain because I want to see what's going on that I'm not aware of, right? And I'm not going to do it on social media. I'd rather do it in person with somebody, get to know somebody. So that's about all I can offer in regards to your question.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, you guys can meet them here, and then they can tune in, like Instagram and.
I guess another way that it could be would probably be maybe school trips or them, or if farmers who want to get out there more for students, maybe going to schools or trying to show, like maybe just waiting in places, handing out flyers, little things like that could also help a lot for them to reach out to us and for us to reach out to them and all meet in the middle.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up because maybe. Okay, one more. Perla, am I allowed to? Sorry. Yeah, one more.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of the young generation. No, I'm just kidding. I just gotta ask one thing that for the young people, because I'm not a social media person. I mean, Quinn knows, she works in our lab. She does our social media, right? And I wish I was better. I'm not gonna lie, because it is a great tool, but it's temporary, right? So they say that whatever happened to MySpace? I had a MySpace account. Unfortunately, these tools they fade out, right? Pretty soon, Instagram, the 12-year-olds behind you guys, I'd be like, oh man, we don't use Instagram anymore. A lot of the 50-year-olds are on Facebook. I'm not, but I mean, I can tell you one technology that will always work is just an in-person conversation. So just, if you can go back to technology, and this works across all generations, is to look somebody in the face, maybe shake their hand. You guys are so courteous, the yes sir, yes ma'am, yes grandpa, yes grandma, all that. It works, and it will always work. So if we can all just take a moment to put our phones down and make eye contact, we can communicate in so many different ways. And I'm trying to convince my kids to listen to that fact. Once you get to our age and you're going to be like, oh no, Instagram 6, I don't know what that is. You're going to be in our position. You'll be like, I remember that one old guy told me to try a technique, and I promise you it'll always work. So that's my pitch.
Okay, so I think we're on time because I think we might be breaking for lunch. Raise your hand if you're hungry. Okay, yeah, see? Let's go. So I think we're going to pass it down to Hernan and Dr. Roselis. I'm going to plug our socials. So if you guys want to continue tuning in for the Food Summit, maybe what's going to happen day 2, and then after this event and the next couple of days, you can follow us on Instagram at food.summit and or Facebook at Food Summit 24. And yeah, Take it away, Hernan.
Well, let's just give them a round of applause, y'all. Thank you so much.